we're beginning this broadcast with details coming in of that brutal murder of a 16-year-old girl by her alleged boyfriend in the national capital. In this particular case, the Delhi police has now gotten custody of the accused Sahil in the murder case. He was presented before physically, is what we're understanding as well. Police has gotten a 2-day police custody is what we're understanding. As I pointed out, remember, Sahil was caught on CCTV murdering his alleged girlfriend in Shahbad Dairy area of the national capital. Remember, he was questioned overnight by the cops, and now we're understanding the Delhi police getting a 2-day custody of Sahil. He is the same man who in fact has been caught on CCTV camera. There is footage of him brutally murdering his alleged girlfriend, who was just 16 years old. Let's bring in our colleague Anshul, who's been tracking these developments for us. Anshul, good morning. This is again a case that has brought up a lot of questions considering as far as law and order situation and the safety of women in the national capital is concerned. But as far as the investigation is concerned, this is going to be a big boost for the police as they've managed to gotten a 2-day custody. He's been questioned overnight as well. What are the kind of details that you're picking up?
So yes, the senior officials of the Delhi police in fact questioned Sahil when he was brought from Bulandshahr to the national capital. After the questioning, it was revealed that Sahil had gotten access to the knife that was used in the crime at least 15 days ago, and he bought that knife from Haridwar itself, and from the last 15 days he had that knife with him. Now the main motive that the police has been able to establish at this point in time, that motive is that Sakshi was in fact in touch with her estranged ex-boyfriend, and that is something that Sahil did not like. They had a massive brawl on Saturday itself, where Sakshi told her to move away or else she will go to the police. Sahil did not agree to this. In fact, his ego got hurt, and he then decided to go ahead and kill Sakshi, and on Sunday Sakshi got killed. Now the big development that we are picking up at this point in time is that the police has been able to get 2 days remand of Sahil. The main argument that the police put forth was that the weapon of crime has still not been recovered, and hence Sahil's custody is important. The court agreed to it and said that 2-day police custody is enough for the police to go ahead and find the weapon of crime. Sahil has agreed that he had thrown away the weapon, the knife that was used is somewhere in Rithala. Post which he went to Bulandshahr. He in fact changed 2 buses while he was travelling to Bulandshahr and reached Bulandshahr late night on Saturday itself. Since then he was in the house of his relatives. Now Sahil, since he has been taken into custody by the police, the main motive of the police now is to find the weapon of crime and to establish the motive behind the murder. Once these 2 things are established, then the police will be able to file a airtight charge sheet against Sahil, through which he could be punished in the court of law.
Okay, Anshul, we'll request you to stay on with us. We're getting some other breaking developments also now coming in. Now, this is what police sources are telling us here at CNN News 18, that Sahil has now disclosed that he in fact bought the knife from Haridwar about 15 to 20 days ago. Let's also now bring in our colleague Anvit Shrivastava, who's also joining us on the broadcast. Anvit, good morning. Now, this becomes crucial as more and more details emerge of what the murder weapon was, what the motive was, and possibly where the murder weapon has been thrown. What are police sources telling you? Any details that have emerged on those lines of where the murder weapon has been disposed, and more importantly, the motive of this murder?
Yeah, see, like Anshul said, 2 days custody of this man has been secured by Delhi police, and he'll now be interrogated. But during initial questioning, he had told police that the knife that he had used to kill the girl, he had bought from Haridwar. He had visited Haridwar 15-20 days ago, and it was then that he had brought the knife. Now, police wants to interrogate this man to find out if he had planned to murder this girl and the knife was bought for that purpose, or he had just bought a knife which he eventually used in the murder. Also, the weapon of offence is still missing. This man, after the murder, had fled to Bulandshahr, to his native village, and therefore he might police believe that he might have disposed of the weapon on his way to Bulandshahr. So he will be taken to that spot where he had disposed of the weapon, and the weapon of offence will be collected, because that will be crucial to the that will be a crucial evidence to this case. Other than that, he has also told during initial questioning that the girl who was killed, see, he had been objecting. We have been saying since the beginning that the motive of the murder was what he has has disclosed that this girl used to talk to her previous alleged boyfriend, and this man had objections to it. He had also raised repeated objections, but when she did not agree and when he pestered her not to keep touch with that man, she told that she would either go to the police or she would tell her family members that he had been harassing her, and that is why this man killed her. Even though police are saying that girl had not raised any formal complaint with the police and they did not know of this man's conduct towards this girl, but certainly that point will also be one of the crucial points when the court argues this incident matter in the court, Ridma.
Yeah, Anvit, we'll just request you to stay on with us because now there are more details emerging as far as this case is concerned. And there are now details emerging as far as the victim's condition. Sources are telling us that victim was declared dead when she was brought at the hospital. The medical legal certificate also suggests that the girl was found in an unresponsive and unconscious state by the police. We're also understanding by the means of sources the body was unresponsive to painful stimuli. The BP and the oxygen saturation were non-recordable. Anvit continues to be with us. And with very gruesome details that have already come to light, of course, the larger question is what does this mean as far as safety of women are concerned? But just far as the victim's condition was concerned, what are sources telling you? How many stab wounds? What was the condition when the victim was taken to the hospital?
See, this girl had 34 stab wounds. We broke this information yesterday from the post-mortem details, and the details that we were getting from the medical legal certificate of the victim are that when she was found, the condition she was found in by the police, she was unresponsive and completely unconscious. Her skull was ruptured completely. This is also from the post-mortem report, and the MLC further goes on to state that the body was unresponsive to the painful stimuli. BP and oxygen saturation were unrecordable. Also, it goes on to say that the ECG was conducted on this girl and she was pronounced dead at the hospital. So when this girl was found in Shahbad area in that congested lane where she was murdered and publicly butchered, this woman was found at the spot in an unresponsive condition, and when she was shifted to the hospital by the police, she was declared brought dead. Also, what the details are emerging that the previous boyfriend, his name has surfaced in this entire incident. A tattoo of her name was also there on this girl's forearm. So that could also be one reason why Sahil wanted this girl to cut ties with him and befriend him of all the people. So that is also one case, but now the police have secured his custody. He'll be interrogated on many lines. One crucial point is that to recover the weapon of offence, and then his clothes that he was wearing at the time of incident, which obviously would have blood stains, and the sample of blood from those clothes will also be sent for DNA analysis to find out if that to confirm in fact that that blood is of the girl who was killed. So these are the evidences that the police are looking now to collect, in fact, scientific evidences of his cell phone location at the time of murder, and then when he fled to Bulandshahr. That will also be another crucial point in this case, Ridma.
Anvit, unfortunately, a lot of comparisons are now being drawn of this case with the Aftab and Shraddha murder case as well. At that time also, just to ensure that there was a watertight case, you needed the murder weapon and you needed a motive to ensure the investigation is in the right track. Here also, all that you have is hearsay. You have some testimony of what the accused is saying, but you'll need a lot more as far as building a case against Sahil is concerned. What's going to be the next protocol to build the case to ensure that maximum punishment is given to the accused here?
Yeah, see, in previous cases also, like you mentioned, Aftab case, in that also Aftab had given a detailed statement to the police, but that statement does not hold any merit in the court of law, and therefore police wanted to, gather evidences, scientific evidences and physical evidences, and for that searches were made in Chhatarpur Forest. Bone pieces of Shraddha were recovered. Even in Kanjhavala case, as we saw, scientific evidences mean a lot to such cases. Even in this case, even though this man has confessed to the murder, confession will not hold merit in the court of law. Therefore, the police wants the weapon of offence. They want the clothes that this man was wearing. So if there are blood stains that match with the blood stains of this woman and the stains are on the clothes of this man, that he can be related to the murder. Other than that, the cell phone of the victim as well as the accused would be found, the location would be found at the same spot. So that will also be indicative that both were present at one spot and then this man fled to Bulandshahr. The knife that he had procured, police are saying now had been procured from Haridwar 15-20 days back. Very much like likely that the police will also take him to Haridwar to confirm from the shopkeeper that this man had brought this knife and then that knife was used in the offence. The blood stains, if there are any, if he has not washed them away, scientific methods will be used to collect blood stains from the knife as well, and the DNA profiling of those blood stains will also be done to confirm that that blood belongs to this girl who was killed. So